तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमां विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पार्षदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Robert, you can also put a video on. Hare Krishna, Robert Wu. Okay, can you read? Robert Wu, you can start reading. The author of the Bhakti Samhita Sindhu from here. Okay, Pranav, you can start.
Okay, yeah. The author of the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Srila Rupa Goswami, very humbly submits that he is just trying to spread Krishna consciousness all over the world, although he humbly thinks himself unfit for this work. That should be the attitude of all preachers of the Krishna consciousness movement, following in the footsteps of Srila Rupa Goswami. We should never think of ourselves as great preachers, but should always consider that we are simply instrumental to the previous acharyas, and simply by following in their footsteps, we may be able to do something for the benefit of suffering humanity.
Yes. So this is the attitude of a preacher, that we are always trying to be in the mood to assist. You remember yesterday we were telling that we are not wanting to be a great
Yeah,
personality, but
servant of the great.
yeah, we just want to become the servant of the great souls. So that is the true glory of any of us, that if we can become servant, assistants of the great souls, that should be our mood. It's a humble attitude. So even the acharyas think like that. Srila Rupa Sahipada also is thinking what? He's thinking that so although he thinks that he's unfit for this work, and he thinks that I'm simply trying to assist the previous acharyas. We are simply instrument to the previous acharyas. That should be our mood. And then we have that mood, then we actually get truly empowered to do some wonderful service in the mission of Lord, like that. So the humble attitude is required. Yes. Neeraj, would you like to read?
Hello? Yes. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is divided into 4 parts, just as the ocean is sometimes divided into 4 parts. And there are different sections within each of these 4 divisions. Originally in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, the ocean is divided like the watery ocean into east, south, west, and north, while the subsections within these different divisions are called waves. As in the ocean, there are always different waves, either on the eastern side, the southern side, the western side, or the northern side. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu similarly has different waves. In the first part, there are 4 waves, the first being a general description of the devotional service. The second concerns the regulatory principles for executing devotional service. And the third wave, devotional service, is in ecstasy. In the fourth is the ultimate goal, love of God. These will be explicitly described along with their different symptoms.
Yes. So there are 4 waves. So what are the 4 waves? First part is describing about
devotional service.
Yeah. General description of the devotional service. So in the first part, 4 waves are there. First being a general description of the devotional service. Second is regulatory principles for executing devotional service. And third wave is devotional service in ecstasy. And the fourth is love of God. Yes. So this is there are different in ocean. There are always different waves, either on the eastern side, southern side, western side, northern side. In the first part, which is like that. So it is divided into east, south, west, and north. Like that division is made. And the different sections within each of these 4 divisions. So for the first section, they have these 4 divisions, and that is okay. Now further, go ahead, please. Robert Prabhu. Robert Prabhu, you are available? Pranay Prabhu, you could also maybe just invite our Xavier Prabhu and all. They might have missed it.
Okay.
Okay. Mataji, you'd like to read? Because others may be joining. Yes, go ahead.
Me?
The authorized descriptions of bhakti.
The authorized descriptions of bhakti or devotional service, following in the footsteps of previous acharyas, can be summarized in the following statement by Srila Rupa Goswami. First class devotional service is known by one's tendency to be fully engaged in Krishna consciousness, serving the Lord favorably. The purport of that one may also be in Krishna consciousness unfavorably, but that cannot be counted as pure devotional service.
Let me explain this. So there is a verse called Anya Bilashita Shunyam Jnana Karmadi Anavritam Anukulyena Krishnanu Shilanam Bhakti Uttama. So this is a definition of pure devotional service. So he says Anya Bilashita Shunyam Jnana Karmadi Anukulyena. Anukulyena means favorably. Anukul. Meaning like when somebody with Anukul Bhav means in a favorable way, when somebody wants to please Krishna and he performs devotional service. So that is actually true devotional service. Like suppose somebody is remembering Krishna with an attitude to please him, with love. So that is devotional service. But there are also cases when somebody may be remembering Krishna, but not out of love, but out of maybe hatred, envy. For example, comes. For example, Shishupal. So they also were remembering Krishna. We say, no, golden rule of bhakti. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. They also followed that. They also always remembered Krishna because out of hatred and envy, they were remembering Krishna. But that is not considered devotional service or pure devotional service. Why? Because that was not done with the Anukul Bhav. That was done with Pratikul Bhav, like that. So generally, those two kinds of people love us, two kinds of people remember us more. One is the person who sees us as an object of love, affection. So he has love and affection for us. And other fellows who see us as object of hatred and envy, they also remember us more. They think us to be enemy or they hate us or they are envious of us. They also will think about us. You also can see in your life that two kinds of people you'll remember more. The one whom you may love and have affection, and somebody whom you don't like, you hate, or we are envious or hatred, we are having hatefulness. I mean, it's difficult for us to say we are envious, but at least someone whom we may not like, something like that. So then we may also remember him, but in a negative way. So devotional service is only when it is favorably, when it is towards Krishna, not unfavorably. Serving the Lord favorably, like that. That is first class devotional service. Yes, go ahead.
Pure devotional service should be free from the desire for any material benefit or for sense gratification, as these desires are cultivated through fruitive activities and philosophical speculation.
Yeah, so that's why he says Anya Bhilashita Shunyam, means Anya Bhilasha, all material desires, Shunyam, should be zero. So here Abhilashita means what? It may not be that you are completely free from all material desires, but you have no motivations to fulfill those material desires. So there is a subtle difference. So you can practice pure devotional service even now also, when you may not be exactly free from all material desires, but you don't have any intentions to fulfill. In fact, your intention is to clear up all material desires. See, there are people who are head-on wanting, material desires. That's what their goal is. They will very shamelessly, they will say, I want to fulfill my material desires, that's why I have come to Krishna. That's why I have come to Lord. But those are mature devotees, those who are actually trying to come on the platform of pure devotional service. So yeah, so they actually know that material desires are the obstacle. There are the obstacles, right? So then when we pray to the Lord, when we perform devotional service, to get clear of all this material desires. So that is favorable. That is called Anya Bilashita Shunyam. And what kind of contamination is there? Two kinds of contamination is told. Jnana Karmadi Anavritam. So Jnana Karmadi Anavritam means what? The Karmadi means trying to have some kind of fruitive result. That is some gain in this world. Like people do work for some kind of material gain. So that is called karma. And jnana is again speculative knowledge. So one is simply trying to be having more and more knowledge. but not leading to bhakti. So that kind of knowledge that also covers the pure devotional service. So Jnana Karmadi Anadi. Adi means there are other things, no? So there are dependency on, say, astrology, things like that, So one should not be dependent on any other things, One should be completely dependent upon the Lord. So that's why it is said Jnana Karmadi Anavritam. So Anavrit, it should not cover it. Bhakti should not be covered by that. We may use that, but it should not cover. That is very important thing to understand. Yes, go ahead.
Generally, people are engaged in different activities to get some material profit, while some philosophers are engaged in proposing transcendental realization through volumes of word jugglery and speculation.
Yeah, jugglery. What is the word jugglery? Yeah.
Jugglery means, they just trap you in different words and
Yes.
yeah. Should I continue more?
Yeah.
Okay, can you scroll the
Sure.
please? Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Pure devotional service must always be free from such fruitative activities and philosophical speculations. One has to learn Krishna consciousness or pure devotional service from the authorities by spontaneous loving service.
Correct. So this is the definition, what is being told. So I'll just show you that verse to get clarity about it. So this is the verse I was saying. So here, he's coming, Kaushik is coming. He's coming. So बुला लो उसको. बुला लो. वहाँ बजा दो वहाँ पे. Okay, so here he's saying, see, उधर बजा दो, right most को, right most. So yeah, so here you see, here is saying pure devotional service activity intended to please Krishna. See, that means without ulterior motives and not covered by philosophical authorities. So this is called Sarup Lakshana. So Srila Prabhupada primary characteristic of pure devotional service as first class devotional done by one's tendency to be fully engaged in Krishna consciousness, serving the Lord favorably. So it is for Krishna. Devotional service is an active engagement, and devotional service is executed with favorable intent. So these three things are mentioned here. Okay, so devotional service is for Krishna because here it is written Anukulyena Krishnanu. Krishna, that Krishna word has come. So devotional service is only for Krishna. One cannot say I'm performing devotional service for, you can say, I'm performing devotional service for Kali or Ganeshi or any other demigods. Devotional service is only for Krishna. Or Krishna also includes Krishna's expansions like Vishnu, and Narsimha. There also can be extended, but only Vishnu Tattva, not to Ganesha, not to Shiva. No, they are not. If that is not considered devotional service, one has to be very clear. It's only for the Krishna and Vishnu Tattvas, like that. That is one point. And then he says, without ulterior motive, that is Anya Bhilashita Shunyam. Anya Bhilashita Shunyam, that is without ulterior motive. And it should not be covered by philosophical or fruity pursuits. That is okay. So Krishna is devotional service for Krishna. Devotional service for Krishna, not for him. So primary characteristics. This is the most essential. This is the first thing, the first and foremost thing. And then he says it may be a bit too exclusive to say that devotion is only for Krishna and no one else. What about the people around us? Can't we also love them? We can only love Krishna, but Krishna is not ordinary. When we speak of Krishna, we refer to the Supreme Personality of Godhead along with his many expansions. In other words, Krishna and his expansions are proper recipients of our pure devotion. So Srila Prabhupada explains many expansions. He expanded by his plenary parts and parcels, his differentiated parts and parcels, and his different energies. Plenary parts and parcels refers to all expansions and incarnations of Godhead, Baladev, Sankarsana, Vasudeva, Niruddha, Pradyumna, Rama, Narasimha, Varaha, as well as many other incarnations and innumerable Vishnu expansions. Differentiated part and parcels refers to the living entities. Different energies refers to the material and spiritual energies. These three categories include everything that exists. Krishna, in other words, means everything and includes everything. Obviously, it is only exclusive to say that anything and everything is valid discipline of pure devotional service. Srila Prabhupada therefore explains, generally, however, we should understand Krishna to mean Krishna and his personal expansion. See, that's what I was saying. So Krishna includes all such expansions as well as his pure devotees. So 2 paragraphs later, Srila Prabhupada also includes Krishna's paraphernalia and his transcendental abode as bona fide objects of the devotee's pure loving affection. The conclusion, Krishna is a singular target of pure devotion. As a result of this one-pointed love of Krishna, one loves everything directly connected to him. This is neither too exclusive nor too inclusive. You got this point, no? So Krishna is the central object of love, no? And things connected to Krishna, one automatically also sees that in a very dear way. Like that also becomes dear to pure devotee, right? So that's why somebody who loves Krishna will also be able to love all the living entities. So that is the nature of pure devotee. So pure devotee has pure love for Krishna, and that's how he can love all the living entities also, because he sees them in connection with Krishna. But you have to understand that, but Krishna is the central point of pure devotional service, right? The pure devotional service is towards Krishna as a Krishna as a supreme personality, and also his expansions. That may be okay. And then through Krishna and his expansions means his Vishnu Tattva expansion, what I'm saying. So then anything connected to the Lord also becomes dear to the devotee. So that is fine. But it is for Krishna. So like that. But what happens? People only want to love the living entities, but there is no understanding of how they are all connected to Krishna. So there is no love for Krishna. So then that kind of love is not going to be properly situated, because that's not actually the real love. That's not actually the real love. So the same with the demigods also. People may love demigods. They may also offer the devotion to demigod. But again, because there's bereft of devotion to the Krishna, it is not through loving Krishna. So then also it is not proper. Okay, Anushilanam, devotional service and active engagement. This is another important. So Anushilanam. Anu means what? From the previous acharyas, under their direction. Anushilanam. And so here you can see pure devotion and active engagement of loving service to Krishna. Particular word used by Srila Rupa Goswami in this connection is Anushilana, or cultivation by following the predecessors' teachers. So this is very important. So devotional service should be under the guidance of previous teachers. It is not, like whimsically one can do his devotional service. No, it should be under the guidance of previous teachers, like that. That's why we need a bona fide guru. Ado Guru Pada Ashraya. Sadharma Pricha. That's why that's all very important regulated principles of devotion. So one should have a bona fide spiritual master, a bona fide devotee, under whose guidance, or the teachers, the previous acharyas, under whose guidance, under whose instructions, teachings, we follow devotions. We practice our devotions. We do our devotion service. So as soon as we say cultivation, we refer to activity. Without activity, consciousness alone cannot help us. Correct? No? So Srila Prabhupada did not translate devotion, the bhakti as devotion. He said devotional service. That means there is an activity also. Like a husband loves his wife. It is not they say, I just love you, my dear wife. I just love you. I just love you. So, okay, give me some saris. No, I just love you. Okay, take me to some, nice places, maybe Las Vegas or whatever, some Disneyland or something. No, I just love you. I just love you. I just love you. So that love does not be meaningful to the wife. Correct, no? So some love means there should be some kind of active engagement, some kind of reciprocation with that, right? When love is there, then something you're going to do for that person. Same thing for the kids also. When you have love for them, then you will do something for them. Then the love has meaning. So the same way, when we have love for Krishna, so there is some activity. So as soon as we say bhakti, so we means devotional service, some activity. And cultivation, when he's saying, Anushilan, so as soon as we say cultivation, that we also refer to activity. Without activity, consciousness alone cannot help us. So this bhakti is actually a sort of cultivation. Prabhupada will explain this, it is going to come. It's a sort of cultivation. It is not some kind of, okay, just I elevate my consciousness on its own or something like that. No, we have to do some activity, and then that activity is like a cultivation. That's how our consciousness gradually grows. We become more and more Krishna conscious. So Srila Prabhupada explains that there are 2 aspects of Anushilanam. Pravritti, pursuance of activities that are favorable to Krishna, and Nivritti, avoidance of activities unfavorable to Krishna consciousness. There are 3 ways to perform Pravritti and Nivritti with body, mind, and words. So we have to Anushilanam. So we have to pursue those activities which are favorable to Krishna consciousness, that is pravritti, and also avoid which is not favorable for our Krishna consciousness, nivritti. So do's and don'ts, like we have certain instructions like chant Hare Krishna, read Gita Bhagavatam from devotees, and we take prasadam. So they're all pravritti, because it is given by Acharya and we follow that. But there are certain don'ts, like one should not indulge in meat eating, gambling, intoxication, illicit sex, all those stuff, or any kind of mundane entertainment which can obstruct our devotion service, right? So those things should be avoided with body, mind, and words both. So all these positive and negative devotional activities cannot connect to Krishna without the assistance of disciplic succession. You see, so these positive and negative devotional activities cannot connect to Krishna without the assistance of disciplic succession. So we need Anu. That's why Guru Parampara. Anu means following the previous acharyas. Srila Rupa Goswami indicates this with the prefix Anu, which means that which follows. Those who follow Krishna are the Guru Parampara. One performs devotional activities by following a spiritual master who himself is following his Guru Parampara, which is ultimately following the dictations of Sri Krishna. In this way, one's own activities may connect to the transcendental desires of Krishna. Because how will you know the desire of Krishna? Through his bona fide representatives, like that. Srila Prabhupada explains, we can offer many services without bodily activities, but all such activities must be in relationship with Krishna. This relationship is established by connecting oneself with a bona fide spiritual master who is the direct representative of Krishna in disciplic succession. Initiation by the spiritual master ensures purity and selflessness in our service. Without this, one cannot connect with Krishna and know exactly what one should do to please the Lord. That's why devotional activities are under the internal energy. Okay, there's another point. So, which ensures that we are performing our devotional service under internal energy when we have Anu. That means we are having under the direction of bona fide spiritual master or Acharya. Another point imparted by the prefix Anu is that activities in Krishna consciousness are all spiritual. Any activities done in devotional service or in Krishna consciousness are directly under the control of spiritual energy. The energy and inspiration to perform devotional service follows from Krishna. It originates in Krishna's spiritual potency. You can see. Flows down through the disciplic succession and is instilled in one's heart by the spiritual master. By following a bona fide spiritual master, one links its energies and activities to Krishna's internal potency. Thus, they become spiritualized. So, Krishna has two kinds of potencies: internal potency, external potency. Internal potency means it's called Antaranga Shakti, or you can say Radharani. So which is nourishing the devotee's devotion. And all the activities what we do in devotional service is actually inspired by Radharani, the internal potency of the Lord. And the external potency is called Mahamaya or Durga, or external energy, which makes the living entity work hard to enjoy in this world for gratifying their senses. So that is how, because they want to be independent of the Lord. So that's how they come under the clutches of material energy, or external energy. And that's how they just keep they remain engaged in so many varieties of material activities to enjoy and suffer, independent of Krishna. So, and that drains out, that is very draining to them. They don't become happy, they suffer actually. So suffering and happiness both make them suffer. This is how.
Swamiji, are you reading from something that we are not seeing because our screen is not moving?
Oh, really? Krishna. Oh my God. I was showing it. You should have told me before.
I wasn't sure. I thought we are not able to see what you were reading. So.
Oh my God. I was just showing you. Okay. But anyway, you got to understand what I said?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. But if you have seen, it would have been better. Okay, no problem. Anyway, so yeah, I was saying that how it should be. It's another Krishna's internal energy. Okay. So, and then he says, by following a bona fide spiritual master, one links his energies and activities to Krishna's internal potency. Thus, they become spiritualized. See, Srila Prabhupada sums it up. In other words, energy is a sort of strength. And this strength can be spiritualized by the mercy of both the bona fide spiritual master and Krishna. And then he says, Anukulyena. Anukulyena means favorable intention. So, devotional service is intended to please Krishna. An activity that only incidentally pleases him is not devotional service. So, Anukulyena, one thing is that favorably want to please Krishna, serve Krishna. Second thing is one can be pratikul also. Pratikul means, like I said, envious and hatred. And the third thing is incidentally you can please Krishna sometimes. For example, suppose like Chanura and Mustika, the two demons, so they, of course, they had ill intention to kill Krishna, but what happened that they please Krishna also by fighting. Krishna was pleased by the fighting. So they did not have intention to please Krishna. But that fight, what they did with Krishna was also pleasing to Krishna. Though they did not have intention to please Krishna. Correct, no? So that incidental pleasing Krishna also is not devotional service, no? So one should also be having intention to please Krishna. You're getting this point, no? So it's intended to please Krishna. So intentions are very important in devotion. So an activity that only incidentally pleases him is not devotional service. To explain this, Jiva Goswami says an analogy of the warrior and his weapons. So Prabhupada mentions it. For instance, if someone says, give something to eat to the man with the weapons, the eating process is done by the man and not by the weapons. So I will see again. Give something to eat to the man with the weapons. If the eating process is done by the man, not by the weapons. Srila Prabhupada treats this briefly since it is only alluded to in a commentary that is not an integral part of Srila Rupa Goswami's original text. However, in understanding the nectar of devotion, it is enlivening to appreciate how both Jiva Goswami and Srila Prabhupada employ this analogy. Did you get this analogy? It will be explained here. The warriors and his weapons. So Srila Rupa Goswami already defined devotional service as activity that pleases Krishna, Krishna no Shrilam. What is the need for him to add this intended to please Krishna? So, okay, activity that is pleasing Krishna, it should be devotional service. No, your activity may be pleasing Krishna, but whether you have intention to please Krishna or not, that also is important. So if you have no intention to please Krishna, then it is not devotional service. So that's why he's writing intended to please Krishna. Why it is put there? It looks like redundant, but no, it's not like that. So explains, to exemplify this apparent redundancy, Jiva Goswami introduces an analogy. Send the warrior into battle already implies that the warrior's weapons will accompany him to the battlefield. When you're saying send warrior to the battle. Since the warrior and his weapons are explicitly connected, there is no need to add. He should take his weapons. Similarly, the intention to please Krishna is implicitly connected with the act of pleasing him. Thus, it does not seem that Srila Rupa Goswami needs to add the word anukulyena. To resolve this, Jiva Goswami employs the same analogy. It is true that warrior and his weapons are implicitly connected, but this does not mean they should never be dealt with separately. For example, when the king says, feed the warrior, one does not feed his weapons. In that case, it is separate. When he says send the warrior, that means they'll take the weapon. When he says feed the warrior, that means weapon and the warrior, there is separation. So feed the warrior, one does not feed his weapons. In exceptional cases, one must separate and distinguish the two. Similarly, in exceptional cases, it is important to distinguish pleasing Krishna from the intention to please Krishna. Did you get it? It's very clear now. Correct? And he's giving the example. For example, the demons sometimes please Krishna by giving him the opportunity to fight and protect his devotees. Thus, they are engaged in activity that pleases Krishna. But it would be absurd to say that demons engage in pure devotion service. They are not. Srila Prabhupada says, great demons like Ravana, Kamsa, and Hiranyakashipu were always thinking of Krishna, but they are thinking of him as their enemy. This sort of thinking cannot be accepted as bhakti or Krishna consciousness. On the other hand, even if an action that apparently displeases Krishna can still be pure devotional service if the intention is loving. A perfect example is Mother Yashoda's chastisement of Krishna. Correct, no? It may be apparently displeasing Krishna, but she is doing out of love. Then it is pure devotional service. Correct, no? Like even Bhishma Pitama also. Apparently he was fighting against Krishna. Correct? But Bhishma Pitama was doing pure devotional service. You know that? He was a pure devotee and he only was fighting because Krishna wanted him to fight from Kaurava's side. That was Krishna's desire. To show the world. Even great personality like Bhishma also, if they are on the side of Kauravas, the side of irreligion, they will be defeated. No? So now Bhishma Pitama had intention to please Krishna and he obeyed Krishna's direction. And that's why he fought against Krishna from the side of Kauravas. And that was pure devotion service actually.
Prabhu,
yeah.
but at that time of Vishnu, they didn't know that Krishna is God, right?
Of course. Why not?
No,
Bhishma Pitama was fully aware. Krishna is so regarded. Pandavas are fully aware. Yes, yes. He's a Mahajana. He's a great devotee. He knows always. Pandavas were also aware. So they all are aware that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. So on the other hand, even an action that apparently displays, okay, this is done. This shows that favorable intention, Anukulyena, is of prime importance in executing devotional service. You got this point? No? Yeah, I think now I'll pause here. Don't want to further continue because it's a very technical but wonderful. We can go slow also. If you all feel, we can even go a little slow. But this verse is defining the pure devotional service. What is bhakti? What is pure devotional service? I will go a bit slow. I will explain more, in further classes. I won't go so fast. And I'll take questions also on this, right? We'll do little, but we'll try to go a little deeper also. Because the Nectar of Devotion is a very powerful book because this is science of bhakti. Bhakti is not some kind of, oh, no, some people, fellows think that, okay, it's just sentimental, some people that they sing and dance, there's some, so bhakti is like all about sentiments. Yes, it's all about sentiments, but it is scientific. You cannot get that sentiment, just very cheaply. It is a very great science. So one should learn it and one should practice devotional service properly under the guidance of previous acharyas nicely, as science and teachings and methods given by the previous acharyas like that. So any reflection or comment or question anybody has? Yes.
Yeah, I think your examples were well explained. A lot of those concepts. It was pretty easy to understand.
I have a question. So you said that when you do bhakti to Ganesha or another demigod, that is not devotional service?
Yes, that's not devotional service.
So what is
Because
that defined as then?
that is called पूजा. भक्ति और पूजा में अंतर है. आप पूजा किसी व्यक्ति की भी कर सकते हो. आप अपने माता पिता की पूजा कर सकते हो, आप अपने टीचर की पूजा कर सकते हो. You can worship your own kid. You can do गाय पूजा, गो पूजा also कर सकते हो. उसको पूजा बोलते हैं. But bhakti is only for the Lord. तो भज कहते हैं ना, भज is only भज धातु, that is only for the Supreme Lord. Because that eternal relationship is there only with the Supreme Lord, not with Ganesh. Because Ganesha, Indra, Chandra, Varuna, they're all post. They're all post actually. So you can also become Indra. You can also get the post of Ganesha. They're all living entities only. So we have to have understanding that demigods are different. They are Jiva Tattvas only. There are three, there are many Tattvas. The Vishnu Tattva means the Supreme Lord. Like Varaha, Kurma, they're all Vishnu Tattvas. The same person only, but they're expansions, right? Then there is Jiva Tattva. Jiva Tattva means like you, me, and all Jiva Tattvas. Demigods are also Jiva Tattva most of the time. Sometimes Lord only comes as some demigod also. Like he may take the post of Brahma. Sometimes it may happen. But that time he is the Supreme Lord. But usually all these are post, and some living entities, those who are pious, they're appointed to take in charge of that post in the universal affair. You're getting now? So now you tell me, if you have a devotion for certain Indra or Chandra, Varuna and all that, so that won't be considered as bhakti. If you have some kind of affection or something, that is puja. You may do puja. And why people do demigod puja? To get some material benefit, usually for that purpose. And they cannot award you liberation also because they don't have power to do that. They can only give you material benediction, that also by the help of Lord Vishnu only. God only gives them power to give them some material benediction. But those benedictions are temporary. They're not going to last forever anyway. And demigods are also temporary. They're also going to die in some time. You're getting this point, no? So there is a big difference. See, that's a big misconception among many Hindus. No, they think there are they called Bahuishwarvadis. They think there are so many Ishwar. You can decide as per your interest which one appeals you the most. Okay, I choose Ganesha. Okay, I choose Hanuman. Okay, I choose Shiva. Okay, I choose Indra. I choose Surya. I choose my own Devi maybe. I like Devi. I choose Saraswati. So people have their own choices, and then they want to worship and they say, then सब बराबर, सब एक ही है, सब रास्ते एक ही जगह जाएंगे. People think like that, but that's the misconception actually. The Shastras very clearly explains who is who, very clearly. Who is Lord, who is Shiva, who is Indra, who is Varuna, who is Jivas, who are Shakti Tattvas. So recently we had a retreat also, our Pranay Prabhu and all the attendants, they were not there. So we had this entire, this, I can supply you those materials maybe in future. I'll do that. So you got this point, no, Mataji?
Yes.
Yeah. So demigods and the Lord, the supreme lords are different. That's why we call supreme personality of Godhead. We say Krishna is called a supreme personality of Godhead, or Krishna's direct expansion also called supreme personality of Godhead. So they are different from demigods. So one should not think that worshipping demigod and worshipping Krishna is the same level. No, not at all. We have our eternal relationship with Krishna. We are his part and parcels, but we are not part and parcel of Ganesh or any other Hanumanji or Indra or Chandra. No, we are not eternal partners, but we respect them. We respect Ganesh, we respect, because they are also servants of God. In fact, Ganesh is a pure devotee of the Lord. He only compiled all the Vedas. He only wrote compilation of the Vyasdev, but he wrote. So he's a pure devotee. Same way, our current Brahma is also pure devotee. So some of the demigods will be pure devotees, some of them will not be pure devotees. They may be mixed devotees. Like Indra is sometimes mixed devotees. That means he is a servant of the Lord, but he has certain material attachments also. That's why you find some kind of situations where Indra becomes little attached and he becomes insecure and somebody is performing tapasya and all that. But he's not an ordinary person for sure. He's a great personality, but still there is some, he's not fully a pure devotee. Sometimes like that. Is it clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other comment or questions? Pranay, you want to say something?
Yeah, so I think the main point I understood that we have to do like devotional service with like Anukul Bhav, right? Not Pratikul Bhav. So that intention is very important. And also we should not wish like for material desires, right?
Also, we should not?
Like wish for like material desires, basically.
We should not have.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should at least have, we should be having material motivation. Motivations means what?
Motivation, yeah.
Like, for example, you close your eyes, not you detect material desires, you want to get rid of them. You don't want to fulfill them. So we know this material desire is an obstacle. We know it consciously.
Yeah.
So we don't perform devotional service for fulfilling our material desires. Then it's not pure devotional service. In fact, we want to be blessed by the Lord to be able to get rid of my material desires. Why should I want material desires? Oh Lord, I want to only offer my love. But let my love for you get awakened. That is the motivation.
Yes.
That's why it is called no ulterior motives. Then it is pure devotional service. Otherwise, mixed. So many times devotees, demigods have some material desires also when they are performing devotional service. That's why it is not called pure devotion. It's called mixed devotional service. So we can choose to follow pure devotional program or mixed devotional program. It's up to us. But pure devotional service only will give you the pure bhakti, pure love, unalloyed love eventually. But mixed devotional service, it will take time.
Then I had one question. So I think
then you will remain in material only, mixed devotional service. Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, I think you are. So on this point itself, right? So I have this question where, so in the story of Ajamil, right? Ajamil, he named his son, and he did all bad things throughout his life, but he named his son Narayan, and because of that, he attained that. So in that particular case, he had no bhakti himself, right? But yet he attained.
But you have to know details. See, Ajamila, when he said Narayana, he chanted without any offense, first thing. And that time he got freed from all sinful reactions because of chanting, and anybody can get that. So liberation doesn't ensure you're going back to Godhead and performing he has not performed devotional service. He just chanted Narayana, and that saved him from all the sinful reactions. Because that is the nature of holy name. If somebody chants holy name, Hello. So, but later, after he got liberated and he got association of Vishnudutas, and he understood that how he was saved and everything, then he went to Haridwar and performed 12 years of intense devotional service. Okay. Then he got, the Lord Vishnu's Vaikuntha Viman came and it took him, like that. So he performed devotional service actually later.
Okay, that part I did not know. Sorry.
Yeah, correct. So that he performed devotional service. That's why but yeah, holy name is powerful. And if somebody offensively chants, he gets delivered. He gets delivered from all sinful reactions. But one has to also perform devotional service like that. Correct. And sometimes somebody may be, in a very helpless state, one may also chant the name of the Lord with the intention to please the Lord also. For example, I'll tell you Gajendra. So Gajendra called out for the Lord, but Gajendra had performed devotional service in previous lives. So he got that remembrance, and then he prayed to the Supreme Lord. So the prayer also is a devotional service. So he did with intention to please the Lord. In the case of Ajamila, he did not have intention like that. He just called Narayana, and Lord Vishnu came and he got purified, and then he performed intentionally devotional service. So holy name can give you liberation, but we should also intentionally, with intention, we should try to also praise the Lord. And in some cases, like you say Putana, when Putana came to kill, so she did not have that intention also. She was just wanting to kill the child, right? But it is said it's a Krishna's exceptional mercy, which gave the Putana also the position his abode like that, because she had some desire to please Krishna in her previous birth, as Ratnavala, as the sister of Bali Maharaj. When she saw Vamandev, so she got desire to feed him, but she also got desire to kill him because he cheated his brother. So she had a mixed desire. So she was born as a Putna, and then she had some kind of inclination to feed Krishna also. One point of time. So Krishna only saw that intention from previous life, and he gave him that position of Dhatri. You can see. But surely she won't get the position like Yashoda Maya and all that, because that intimacy will not be that great also, because she hasn't done that. With that very great intentions to please Krishna also. So her destination will not be like that of Yashoda Maya or that part. But she was surely, she got that is exceptional mercy of Lord Krishna. That is such pastimes are for showing that thing. But that the devotional service is performed with the intention to please Krishna. That is pure devotional service. Okay?
Yeah.
Any other point? Robert, do you want to share anything? Is there or not? Robert, are you there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you want to say anything?
I think the material life is very overwhelming, but it's hard not to get so engaged with it. But I guess that's where the devotional service kind of helps us, is by giving us something better to do that brings us closer to Krishna and to our true purpose.
Not get what he's saying. You try to do what?
That the service, the devotional service, does bring us kind of both. It lets us focus on something better than something more meaningful than just the material world.
Correct. Yes. Yes. You can put your video on, Robert Prabhu.
Yeah, just got a haircut.
Great. You're looking good. It's a Hare Krishna cut.
Yeah.
Okay. Xavier Prabhu, you want to share anything?
For me, let's see here. I liked, let's see here. Pure devotional service should be free from the desire for any material benefit or for sense gratification. One has to learn Krishna consciousness or pure devotional service from the authorities by spontaneous loving service, and that cultivation. So that without activity, if we're not actively cultivating our Krishna consciousness.
Okay.
If we're not continuously engaging our Krishna consciousness in activity or cultivation, then it's not growing.
Again, cultivation what? Say again.
If we aren't cultivating our Krishna consciousness, then it's not growing. So consciousness alone cannot help us.
Yeah. I mean, the consciousness alone cannot help us. Correct. Basically, we have to cultivate. That's how
Yes.
we will have Krishna consciousness. Yes. more and more. Correct. Poonam Mata, you want to share any point?
Not today, Prabhuji. I have to read again.
You have to read again. Okay. Fine. No problem. Fine. Okay. Okay, fine. So I think we'll pause here. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Thank you.
So tomorrow we want to make it just half an hour. No? Today we have made some progress. We started a bit early. So tomorrow, please, pray for me that I can finish in half an hour only. That's the goal. Hare Krishna.